What are we talking about? Hi everybody, Brenton Strine here, and I wanted to give a little sort of end of the year update about what we're doing with Refcode and talk about some really exciting things. I have here with me today Luke Keller, who is the founder and current executive director of Tekton. Now, you probably know Tekton because we've been kind of collaborating with Tekton for a while now. We're meeting in their space. They have an awesome sort of like, what do you call it? It's like a workshop and
makerspace, workshop, training center,
classroom.
Yeah.
So we've been using their space for our labs and for our meetups for a while. And maybe not everybody has kind of had a chance to learn about what Tekton is and what the connection is. So I'll let Luke kind of talk a little bit about what Tekton is and why Refcode and Tekton have joined forces.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Brenton. I have had the pleasure of meeting you all. Again, Luke Keller, as Brenton said, founder of Tekton. We started Tekton about 7 years ago, and really with the same exact goals in mind as Refcode. You know, how do we meet the refugee and immigrant community where they're at in terms of the massive number of them that are unemployed, about 7 times under unemployed versus the average American, and help them become upskilled for better careers versus just hourly jobs. And so that's where we've stood since day one. And we started off very specific around, actually a little bit more broad around like welding and pipe fitting and carpentry and electrical. And now we've actually focused a little bit more again on like where are there more and more careers. And so over the last 7 years, we actually have helped about 400 men and women from the refugee community enter lifelong careers, life-changing opportunities, multiple people who are now making well over 6 figures. And so knowing Brenton, we've been friends for a little while, and seeing his passion, his vision, we collaborated and have continued to stay in touch as Refcode has continued to change and see more and more opportunity there. And so we decided we were going to partner to really take this to the next level, to continue to serve the community. And we're excited about the future and excited about collaborating. I'll let Brenton kind of talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, and working with Tekton and sharing the resources of the entire nonprofit that Tekton is, which is already established, is great. And also just having Luke on board is a whole other thing, because Luke, like me, is a dreamer, and Luke is well connected in Clarkston and in business communities. And so we've kind of been able to put together and make into a reality things that many of you have heard me talk about for years, some big dreams. We have the classes, we have the mentorships, we've got things like Team Code, which give our participants who are a little more advanced a chance to develop actual collaboration, real world team skills. But what's always been a missing piece of the puzzle is towards the end of this ladder, the ladder being a journey to a software engineering career, the last pieces of that are gaining experience in order to actually get the first job. You have to have a job to get the job, and that's been a problem that we've seen. And we've had a couple people who've overcome that problem and landed their first career job, which is great, but it was too difficult, and we're looking for ways to make that easier. And the other part, a big problem that we've seen is we have a lot of people who are smart, talented, motivated, but they just don't have the ability to say no to their day job and say no to putting food on the table in order to pursue growing and developing in this career. And I see that as a tragedy. And so one of the things I've always talked about being able to do is starting a software agency so that we can pay participants to learn. They can not have to worry about putting food on the table. We'll pay them a living wage, and they'll do meaningful engineering work to gain real resume experience that they can use to get their first job. And thanks to our partnership with Tekton and with Luke, we've been able to make some great strides on that. In fact, we already have a potential first client. This is something that actually we can't do just on volunteer power like we've done with all the other Refcode programs so far. We need to be able to pay the participants in this agency a living wage. It has to be a living wage, and we need to pay a decent wage But what's cool about this is it only needs to be for a year, because after the first year, then this will become self-sustaining as we gain clients and those clients can bring in money. So for 1 year, what we need is to find people who are willing to give $300 a month for 1 year. We need your help being ambassadors to talk about what Refcode is, what we're doing, and make that ask to help us find 30 people for this first year. If we can find 30 people to give it that $300 a month level, that'll enable us to launch this software agency program, and from there on out, we'll be home free because it will run itself. It'll pay for itself. We just need help for this first year.
Let's each adopt one of these aspiring web developers, one of these aspiring coders from this community, and support their career and help them kind of jumpstart. And yeah, like Brenton said, everything flows essentially through Tekton. We'll put a link in this message as well on where to give, kind of to set that recurring invitation. Each of you guys already have made this a priority, and we know that there's more technology companies out there, whether it's the one that you're currently employed at or your friends are employed at, that we want to really draw in to adopt Refcode, to really see Refcode get to that next level in terms of our ability to support the refugee community.
We can make that happen. We just need a little bit of help. So we're asking you to jump in as ambassadors and give a little bit financially, and we're going to make this all happen. All right, thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys.